Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to Asian Filmist. My name is Ray and I love movies. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is the 2016 Japanese film, Sing My Life. It's a remake of the 2014 hit Korean film, Miss Granny. Now before we dive into this review, a little background information of Sing My Life. It's directed by Mizuta Nobuo, who I don't think I've seen another film of, but it does star folks of whose movies I have seen in the past. Leading the cast is Baisho Mitsuko and Tabe Mikako, and they're assisted by Kobayashi Satomi, Kaname Jun, and Kitamura Takumi. And so the way the story of Sing My Life goes, it's about a 73-year-old grandmother named Katsu, and she's stressed and unhappy with her life, and one day she runs away from home just to escape a little bit. And as she's walking around town, kind of reminiscing about how good life used to be, she stumbles upon this mysterious photo studio. So she becomes drawn into this photo studio. So she decides, why not? Why don't I have my picture taken? So she does just that, and as she steps out of the photo studio, she discovers that she's magically transformed into her 20-year-old self. And you know, at first she's a bit shocked, as any one of us would be after discovering that we get transformed back into our younger body. But then she realizes that this is actually a blessing in disguise. So she takes this opportunity to go and start pursuing those old dreams that she couldn't pursue back when she was younger. And one of those dreams is becoming a singer. And you know, along the way, maybe some romance. Now before I start diving into what I thought about Sing My Life, let's be clear, I have seen the original 2014 Korean film and I absolutely loved it. As a matter of fact, it was one of my favorite Korean films of 2014. And upon watching Sing My Life, I tried to watch it as a standalone film without holding the original film in too much regard, but you know, in this kind of case, you really can't help it. I mean, Miss Granny was so fun, it was so well put together, and it's gone on to be remade a number of times throughout Asia. And maybe it's just a matter of time before Hollywood adapts it, but that has yet to be seen. But anyway, let's dive into what I liked about Sing My Life. First of all, it did well in adapting the original Korean story, and for the most part, it kept the core elements of the plot and the characters and their mannerisms intact. Like how the grandmother always nags, and for the most part, each of the members of the family keep bickering with each other for one reason or another. Also making its way to the Japanese version is the grandmother's love for Audrey Hepburn and the film Roman Holiday, and also Audrey Hepburn's name playing a part in the name of the granny's younger self. They also changed up a lot of things to make it more suitable for Japanese culture and life, which was pretty interesting. For example, in Miss Granny, all the old folks pretty much met at a senior cafe, which from what I read is quite common in Korea. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But in Sing My Life, instead of meeting at a cafe for seniors, all the old folks meet and converse in a bathhouse. And it makes a lot of sense actually. If you ever been to a bathhouse in Japan, you see a lot of elderly folk hanging out and just chatting and, you know, chilling. And one thing I thought that was really funny is the inclusion of oresagi scammers. These oresagi scammers are basically con artists who call up elderly folk saying, "Hey, Granny, it's me." Huh? Me? Yeah, me. And then confusing the grandparent into thinking that their grandchild is in trouble and convincing the grandparent to bring out some money just so they can save their grandchild and keep them out of trouble. Another thing I liked was the chemistry between the family members, and it was really lovable, and it built up to some very nice moments of drama. Another thing I'd like to point out is that Sing My Life has noticeably less comedy than its Korean counterpart, and it's not a bad thing at all. Actually, I thought it felt kind of right, because this is how a Japanese film of a similar story or premise or genre would most likely be like. And yeah, overall the story was really fun and quite easy to enjoy. And as for the things I thought that were bad about Sing My Life, there was nothing bad per se. If anything, at times I felt that Tabe Mikako, who plays the younger granny, you know, she did really well portraying a granny inside a younger body, but at times I thought that her acting was either hammy or not honest enough. And there was one particular scene in the middle of a romantic montage that made it feel like it was trying to be a music video and just took me out of the film for a second. But it wasn't a big part at all. It was a really small part, but it was enough to just make me giggle, like, what's going on? And since remakes always get compared to the original versions, you know, you just can't help but compare. And in this case, Miss Granny is far superior to Sing My Life. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that Sing My Life is a bad movie. It's just that Miss Granny is too good to compare to. But overall, Sing My Life, I feel it was a little bit more than a cut and paste remake. It did a lot of changes to make itself work for Japanese audiences. And it's a film that mixes together many themes quite nicely. It has family drama, slapstick gags, a little bit of romance, and of course second chances and following your dreams, and obviously the classic fish out of water comedy. But one thing I gotta say, I felt that the slapstick gags made this film feel more like a Korean movie than it did a Japanese one. I just don't really see much of the same kind of slapstick gags they had in this movie as in other Japanese Japanese films. But that being said, I really enjoyed Sing My Life. It was definitely a fun experience. We can definitely recommend this for fans of the original Korean film, as well as fans looking for a nice tearjerker. Because some of the scenes in this movie, especially those that involve singing, oh man, if you're not careful, it'll get you. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Sing My Life. What did you guys think? Whatever your thoughts are, leave a comment below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Asian Filmist for more reviews and discussions on Asian films. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you subscribe to our email newsletter, you can receive a free copy of our ebook, The 108 Asian Films for New Fans to Watch. Once again, my name is Ray. You can find me on Twitter at RayMaru555. And that's about it, everyone. Alright guys, I'm about to watch some more movies. I'll speak to you soon again, yes? Promise.